Okay, today's BMW basic is actually going to be just checking the oil. To check the oil, two main places we'll look at. One is the dipstick, and the second is where you put in oil, which is this big square. So the very first thing is we'll pull this dipstick out right here. So you just pull that out at the base. You'll pull it out, it'll be a little wet. The very first thing you'll want to do is you'll want to wipe off all the oil. And so can you make it out that the dipstick is dry? And the most important place that you'll want it to be dry is this square right here, because that's what we're going to be looking at. Okay, so now that it's dry, we're going to put it back in to that hole right there, all the way down until it fully seats, and pull it back up, pull it out, and look at it again. Now you can see it's wet with oil. You'll notice that it's the whole square here in between these two notches, only the very bottom is wet with oil. The top is empty, which means it needs oil, because you want it to cover this whole block. This block, these two notches, the distance between these two notches, represents 1 liter, because it's a Beamer. But we use quarts, but it's not scary, because 1 quart is basically 1 liter. It's actually 1.1. 1.1 quarts equals a liter, or 940, let's see, I think it's 946 milliliters. So it's just shy of a liter. But for all intents and purposes, you treat that just like it's a quart, and it'll tell you how much to put in. I'm going to do it one more time. In there, pull it out, look at it, and basically we need a half of a quart, maybe even a little bit more. So with that, we'll go right here, and we'll open up the square and pull it out. What's really nice is that the Beamer has a big opening for putting oil in there. BMW recommends that you use full synthetic oil in viscosities of 5W40 or 5W30. Here, I'm going to concentrate so I don't make a mess. So 540 or 530, but one important thing to keep in mind is that if you're low on oil, it is better to have any motor oil in your engine versus none. So if you're scrambling around the house and you only have, let's say, 10W30 and it's organic instead of synthetic, it's better to put something in than nothing, than run your engine dry. Of course, optimum, BMW's conditions with a full synthetic oil. Okay, so with that in, putting the cap back on, and we'll check the engine oil again. It'll take a little bit for all of it to settle down there, but we'll just check it right now. Pull it out, try it off one more time. The block is dry. Put it in, pull it out, and what we should see is that it has more oil in it. And as you can see, that whole block is now wet, and the top is dry. So you don't want to overfill it, but that's perfect. So that's how you check your oil. That block represents a quart, basically. If that block is entirely dry, put in a full quart. If it's half dry, put in half a quart. And if it's just a little bit, put a little by little. But that's how you check your oil. Hope it helps, and there you go.